Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is keeping well. We are back again with another live show. It is a non-league football show we are doing. I said I would like to bring another one of these back. And here we are with the one tonight. And this time we are joined by Tony. How are you doing, Tony?
Yeah, not too bad, Pete. Not too bad. How are you, mate?
Really, really good. So I thought I'd bring Tony on to discuss his experience with non-league football, as he has been taking in the seeds of this as well. And I presume Tony would like to give his overall thoughts and what all the games he's been attending so far as well. So if you enjoy the show tonight, guys, you know what to do. Please do remember to give us the thumbs up. It's really important we get the likes so people know where to find us in the search results. So do smash the likes if you enjoy the show tonight. Please, of course, if you are brand new to the channel or if you're not yet subscribing to New Joe, what goes on the channel week in, week out, please smash that subscribe button. Completely free to do so. It does help make the channel grow as well. And of course, please hit the bell notification. It does let you know whenever a live show takes place or a pre-recorded video gets uploaded as well. So that bell notifies you what comes out on the show week in, week out. So again, please do it that to make sure you're all up to date with the content that you do not want to miss at all. And if you want to give a donation, feel free. And if you want to become a member, it's 99p, hit the join button to become a member as well and be included in the prize draws. And I know Tony's also streaming this to his channel as well, the Footy Channel Groundhopper. Please do go over and drop Tony's subscription if you haven't already done so. Really appreciate it. Let's snip in the comments. Lawrence, good evening. Ian, good evening. Julie, good evening. Joe, good evening. Tom, good evening. Chippers, good evening. Philip, good evening. Robert, good evening. Party City have the lead already against Aston Villa tonight. Yeah. And be keeping well as well. Coffee, good evening. Good evening. Gary as well. Hope you are keeping well as well. So I've got, and Gates said lost the Northeast Derby at Hartlepool. Yes, they did. A couple of my pals were there as well, and they said they were very disappointed with it, with the Heat, unfortunately. But yes, as I mentioned, this show is about non-league football tonight. So again, we're going to ask Tony his experience. So Tony, I've prepared a list of questions as well.
Mm.
And if you feel free to get them in the chat as well tonight, feel free to do so. So I'm going to start with the first question for you, Tony. So, what made you get into watching non-league football and why?
Well, previously I have watched it before because obviously when I used to live up in Newcastle and I had a season ticket, what I used to do was when I used to go to the home games, and when Newcastle played away, if I didn't get to an away game, I used to go and watch Gateshead at the International Stadium. And there wasn't just me, there was lots of Geordies went into there. They used to get some great gates when I used to go there because you'd get all the Newcastle fans going there that weren't going to the away game. And it was a terrific atmosphere. And, so you sort of sense what the atmosphere was like back then. But since I changed my channel around a bit, because obviously, as I said previously to people, why I had to change my channel was because there were so many bigger Newcastle channels out there and trying to compete with all these channels. And I felt my channel wasn't going anywhere. So I thought I have to change something up. I have to do something different. Then I brought out a second channel, then realized, do you know what? It's too much hassle trying to juggle two channels. So I changed the name of my main channel. And when I changed that, I did take a risk because I thought, I might lose I could lose a lot of people, yeah. But thankfully, I didn't. Everybody actually supported me, which was really, really great. And I do really thank everybody who did support me, subscribers and that. And and so I've done a vlog. I think my first vlog was Boston United, when they played Dagenham and Redbridge. When a certain ex-Geordie player, Dylan Stevenson, was playing for Dagenham. And that went well. And then I thought, right, okay, I need to do a few more. Then I've done Northampton Town, I've done Doncaster Rovers. Both clubs, I was treated there really, really nice, really great people. Both of those clubs. And then I started dropping into the non-league because I thought, is there a lot of coverage in non-league? And I started going to a few non-league games, and I went to Cambridge City when they opened a brand new stadium back in November, and there was quite a lot of YouTubers there that day. People were coming from as far as Liverpool to come down to that stadium, and fair play to them coming all that distance. And that day, they got over 1,500 people in there.
Oh, really? Wow, well, that's
the
great.
opening of that stadium. And do you know what? And it's grown on me even more now, the non-league, because even though I'm a member at Newcastle, I can't, trying to get tickets hard. I try every ballot, but I don't get anywhere. So I cover these non-league games, and do you know what? I've got to say, I've met a lot of nice people, and that's not just the fans, that's players, managers, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And I'll go through some things later on people that I've met and managers and that, and I mean, I was at a game yesterday, which was the 10th tier of English football.
Yeah.
And, and I mean, Hollow Town, and the thing is, right, Hollow Town and Hackney Wick, these two teams were neck and neck at the top. Now, Hackney Wick actually had the advantage going into this because all they had to do was win every game and they got automatic promotion. But on Saturday, they fluffed up to a team called Forest, not Nottingham Forest, by the way. And what it is, so when they cocked up against these and drew 2-2, that opened the door for Harlow because they went back top on goal difference. Now, as I say yesterday, for a 10th tier, 1,247 people there yesterday, massive attendance for that. How low in the league that is, how far down the pyramid that actually is. And Hollow ran out 6-1 winners and won the league on goal difference. So both teams finished on 92 points. One's got to go in the playoffs and one's been promoted. Now, if you're a team, you're finishing on 82 points, you expect to be winning the league. But when both teams are doing it, it's some, it's some achievement. And these two actually play in the Challenge Cup final as well, which is in a couple of weeks' time. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's how I've got into it. Yeah, more than ever this season. Really? And it seems to be that the season's coming to an end pretty quickly.
Yeah, it really is, Tony, isn't it? I mean, there's been some good games. I've seen some good games. There's been some really kind of games to go and watch as well, everywhere around the country as well. They always start their season very early as well.
Yeah.
Normally do. They normally. We've got a question from Tom. Favorite Northeast non-league team? For me, I'd have to go with Gateshead, obviously.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's always been Gateshead for me. But not far behind that's Newcastle Blue Star, because obviously being from Newcastle,
another good one.
And looks like the referee's going to monitor on this one. I don't know why he's going to monitor. Not so sure, but there must be some sort of VAR check. Of course, people are filming them. I don't know what it's for. I think it's for a potential Villa penalty. This, I think.
Whoa.
So we need this to be a draw. To be honest, I would rather have this as a draw than either side winning that. Yeah, so I would say Gateshead definitely was that, and then I would say Newcastle Blue Star because Blue Star breweries. Ever since I was going to the ground when I was going to the Newcastle games, a little nip my first shirt was black and white with the Blue Star logo on, and it was absolutely brilliant. So so for me, Gateshead first, but then definitely Blue Star, just literally behind them.
Yeah, I would go with Gateshead. As I mentioned, there's some of the good teams. I've been to Blue Star. I've been to Newcastle Benfield as well. I've been to, of course, Blythe Spartans, and I've also not recently. That was on Good Friday. Was at Heaton Stannington for their game as well against Liversedge. So Yaba has gifted a few memberships out tonight. He gifted 5 and 10, and now he's just gifted another one. Cheers so much, Yabba. Really, really appreciate that. Philip says, I first watched non-league football on TV in the 2002-2003 season when Sky Sports used to cover the nationwide conference games. I remember that as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, Villa's got the penalty, by the way.
Yeah. Philip also says, well done. People saying thank you to Yabba for gifting the memberships out. So again, thank you, Yabba, again. It'll be an exciting, thrilling final day of the National League South with 6 teams chasing that automatic promotion spot.
Yeah, that's massively tight. It's unbelievable. It's actually Rashford taking this penalty against City in it.
Oh, David actually says non-league equals proper football.
Absolutely, David. Well said, mate. Yeah, definitely it does.
Yes.
Crunching tackles, no VAR.
Yes, you do see
1-1.
Oh, there you are. Met some good friends at Gateshead and North Shields games in particular, says Lawrence. So Lawrence has been to some as well. Only Northern game left our cup finals and playoff might get along to one of 2 Northern Alliance games before the season ends, says Lawrence. David also says Merthyr Town achieved a 3-0 victory over Hungerford Town, securing the Southern League Premier South title in front of all 3,000 supporters. Get yourself to some Welsh games, Tony. So 3,000 fans.
Yeah, that's mad. I mean, didn't John go to that one on Saturday at Bury, 9th tier, and was it over 8,000 fans there? I mean, that's absolutely amazing. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Totally. Ian's asking, do you not fancy a trip to Berwick Rangers, Tony? I'm sure you might have that. Have you got that plan on the list some point?
You never know. I can never rule it out, but you never know.
Chippers is asking, have you been to a Blythe Spartans game?
Do you know what? Never been to Blythe Spartans, no.
I've been once. It was back when I was there. It was 1-1. They were playing Alfred Town, and it was at the FA Cup. I can't remember. It was 1-1. Blythe took the lead, and then they pulled it back. And Lee Clark was the manager of Blythe Spartans, and he got sent off at the end of the game.
Crazy.
And so that was Callum Roberts was playing for Blythe as well.
Yeah,
at the time as well. Good luck, Keegan. Coming down, Tony. Great to have you. Great to have met you at the Hollow Town versus St Margaret's Bury yesterday. Still next to you with the celebrations on the pitch. Another lovely chat. Keep up the great work you are doing.
Yes, I remember talking to you yesterday. Thank you very much. Yes, that was brilliant. There, the celebrations at the end, absolutely fantastic, and and. It's a great club, a great club. And as I say, met some lovely people. If anybody hasn't seen my vlog yet, do have a look at it. I mean, at the end, it's a 45-minute vlog, but look, it's because it's extended because you got the trophy lift. Then I've spoke to the few players and the assistant manager, and you know what? All lovely people. All took time out to come and actually talk to me, which is absolutely brilliant.
Okay, so we'll get on to the next question there, Tony. So what was the first ever non-league game you attended?
Do you know what? I'll tell you what game that sticks out in my head, though, is I remember when Gateshead played Histon. That's when Histon were in the conference and no longer in the conference, no any other conference league now. And, gosh, I can't remember what year that was now, but it was definitely before I've lived down here since 2012, so you're talking what? Well before then, so it could even be could it be when we won the championship first time? It might have been when we won the championship first time around. I always remember they had this big target man up front, about 6'4" he was, Histon Town. And Gateshead were playing lovely football on the deck, passing it about, pass and move. Had chances, couldn't get past their keeper. And all Histon done all game was they used to launch this ball from defence to this target man. That's all it did. Launch it. Somebody in the chat, if they've ever been there, they might have been at this game as well. Anyway, so they kept launching this ball, and I think it must have been 80th minute or something like that. He actually connected with one of these balls, and he actually went ahead and scored, and Histon won the game 1-0. But they only won it through that sort of football. It was diabolical that day. It was awful football to see. The fact that he just kept launching this ball from defence straight to... That's all it was for this target man. and he actually connected with one which he actually scored with. And I can remember Gateshead fans around me saying, "What is this supposed to be football? Because this is awful to watch, you know." And as I say, Gateshead were just passing the ball about, and really, if Gateshead had won that game, they deserved to win that game. Histon certainly didn't deserve that.
It sounded like a very dull game.
Yeah, it was awful. I remember that game. That game sticks out. So that one really does stick out.
Absolutely. Philip says he remembers Blythe Spartans playing Blackburn in the FA Cup third round in the 2008-9 season.
Yes, I remember that as well. Yes.
David,
was it Robbie Dale?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It is what's the highest record crowd for a non-league game? Anyone know? I actually don't on this one.
No, I don't know what the highest record is. No.
I'm not really sure on that one myself, to be fair, to be honest. So, Philip, I was got robbed, paid £4 for a cheeseburger. Mason's in the chat by the looks of it. Hi, lads. Hope all as well. W. Well, Ray. Liked on both channels. Cheers, Andrew. Really appreciate that as well. Fantastic to see Bury FC back on the up slowly but surely. Hopefully they get back to the Football League someday. Yeah, absolutely. It was really heartbreaking how they got kicked out as well. I suppose so. Yeah. So we'll come on to another question again, Tony, for you. I know you've already touched upon this, but what was your last non-league game you attended? Well, you've just said it previously, but maybe go into a bit of depth, but not just the game. Look who you were interviewing after the game as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look. So yesterday, obviously, I went to Harlow Town versus St Margaret's-Bury. And that was in the Thurlow Non-League Division 1 South. Sounds a bit of a mouthful, I know. And basically, as I say, neck and neck, Harlow Town and Hackney Wick, as they have been all season. Hackney Wick have pushed them all away. And look, Harlow were topped by goal difference by +9 at that time. That was what that goal difference was over Hackney Wick. They had 9+ on them. So they did have a 9-goal advantage. So even if Harlow had won, say, 1-0, for instance, then Hackney Wick would have probably had to go out and score 11 to win that game. Now, they played a team called Main Baker, Hackney Wick, yesterday. But, yeah, so went to Harlow yesterday. The weather was nice. It was sunny when I got there. There was a lot of fans in the bar area as well as in this, in the stadium itself. And I thought this is going to be a good crowd today in here. I can see it. After I went there a couple of weeks ago when they played in a cup semi-final, they had 713 there. So I thought, well, wow, this is probably going to be about that, or maybe tops this. I don't know at the time. And thankful, the club gave me media pass as well. So that was lovely of the club to do that for me as well.
Brilliant that.
They've been absolutely fantastic with me. But yeah, look, it was a great game. And I mean, it started off, I think from the time that whistle went, you could see Harlow wanted this game. They were wanting this. They were wanting that first goal. And within a minute, they scored the first goal. And 2 minutes later, the first goal came actually from a long throw.
Yes,
a long throw came in.
Your game,
yeah. And then the second goal came 2 minutes later. And what a cracker that was as well.
Yes.
And then the third one came just on 15 minutes from a cross from the same guy who scored that fantastic goal. And Harlow were like 3 up in 15 minutes, and it was like, well, hang on, this is easy. Yes, okay, they were playing St Margaret's-Bury, who were bottom of the league, and have only got 15 points, have lost like 28 games all season. And then I missed it for somehow, but their keeper pulled off a fantastic save, the St Margaret's-Bury keeper. If I'd have caught this on camera, this was one hell of a save. The Harlow player hit it from about 30 yards out, and he flew in the air and got that over the bar. and it was a hell of a save. But I did catch his point blank save he made. He made a few good saves, that goalkeeper, for them.
Yeah.
I think he probably maybe helped keep the score down. But the way Harlow were, every time they came forward, you thought, they're looking for another goal. They're going to get another one.
Yeah.
And, you know, how it was only 3-0 at half time had me bemused, because I'm thinking, Harlow should be about 4, 5 or 6 at half time, you know, because they were really hungry looking for the goals. And then second half, they came out exactly the same as the start of the first half. And then they got another 2 further goals, made it 5-0. St Margaret's got a free kick. And at first, when he took the free kick, I'm thinking, well, why hasn't he put that in the box? Why is he passing it to his teammate? And then, but it actually worked out to be quite a good set piece that they'd taken, and it did lead to them scoring a consolation goal. And I could see the disappointment on the keeper's face from Harlow, because you could see he was thinking, "Oh well, that's me clean sheet gone now," you know. But then within a minute of that happening, and again I didn't manage to catch it, Harlow went up the other end and scored. You know, so it was as if to say, well, okay, you've scored against us, we're going to come back and score again. We want that 5-goal lead back.
We want it back.
But they were brilliant, you know. He made one change early in the second half, the manager. Then he made a quadruple change as well. You know, because at the end of the day, the game was done. Even if 5-1, it was done, the game, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine it would have been.
It was just, you know, if Hackney Wick wanted to get up there, automatically they would have had to break the scoring record to get up there, you know. Yeah, I just thought it was a terrific game all round, and it was absolutely brilliant.
It was, and you just said Harlow Town winning the league as well, and the interviews you got with the manager, and was it one of their players?
The assistant manager, yeah, he's great. He is. I mean, when he saw me yesterday, he came running over to me. You know, he's such a character, but he's such a nice lad, nice guy as well. You know, and straight away, you know, he came back for an interview with me, and he was, you know, and I got the goal scorer because I asked him, did he mean that goal? And he said, yes, he did mean it. He says, because he saw the keeper off his line, that's why he went for it. And I actually reached out to that player last night, because I actually sent him a copy of his goal, and he actually wrote back and said, oh, thank you for that, mate. I'm much appreciated. You know? And yeah, look, so I interviewed him, interviewed the goalkeeper, interviewed the captain. The captain's a character as well. He's a great guy. And I interviewed fans as well. And you know what? They're just absolutely brilliant down there. They really are. And look, I can just go off a couple of... When I put me tweet out this morning for the match vlog being available, so from Graham Butler, who there is, he's like player recruitment stroke scout. And he said, brilliant content. Door is always open at the club, Tony. See you in 2 weeks in your Harlow shirt. You know, but that's the kind of thing it is. And then the assistant manager, Tony, thanks for coming. Sure to see you at the final. You know, and
that's brilliant.
Look, that's what football's all about. You know,
it is.
And that's why people love the non-league scene, because the players are close to the fans. The managers are close to the fans. You know, you can stand at the side of the pitch and have a pint. You know,
yes, you can.
And you know, and the thing is, right? You see people go there. Some people have a good drink, go in there, have a few pints, but there's no rowdiness, there's no nastiness, nothing like that. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can give you another example of a manager, and this is from a manager from the Isthmian League Division 1 North, which is 2 tiers up from the division Harlow Town was in, and I'll tell you exactly what he said to me. Because his team Brightland C have managed to get a playoff spot So if they won the playoffs, they go to Isthmian League Premier.
Mhm.
I just said, well done, and what a good job he's done. Ryan Salter at Brighton Sea. And he said, thank you, mate. Look forward to seeing you wherever it may be.
Oh, that's fantastic. So getting shout outs by certain clubs as well, by their managers, staff, players as
Yeah.
well. Even players asking you to send them the goal they scored as well.
Yeah, I got that on Saturday when Whittam Town scored that goal. Player reached out to me on Sunday and says, "Oh, can I have a copy of that goal?" And the thing is, right? You see a lot of negativity about people going out. There's a lot of negativity about people like doing YouTube and things like that. But in non-league, when you're doing these YouTube, this is what these players rely on, because
They do.
yes, okay, they have a camera there, but it might not capture everything. But you might have somebody there who's recording with a phone, and they might go, "Oh, well, actually, they've caught it. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I wonder if I can get a copy of that." And the fact they reach out to you, it's just absolutely brilliant. I've even met Julian Dix. He's manager of Heybridge Swifts, and when he came to my local side, Mildenhall, and again, what a lovely guy he is. Hard as nails as a defender in his day. One of the hardest left backs in the country. And if I tell you now, if you tackled him, you'd know about it, because he'd come back and get you harder. But what a nice guy he is to talk to. Really solid, really sound guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just going to nip through there some more comments that have come in quickly as well. Julie's on your channel, watching in on our channels as well. Even Philip says Hollowtown's second goal absolutely class, reminiscent of Tonali and Murphy. So Philip must have been checking the vlog out as well. Even some non-league footballers getting expensive to go and see. Not everywhere though. Oh no, definitely not everywhere is going to be expensive.
I think if we go to National League, which is just below the EFL, then
it is, yeah. Then it will might become a little bit, yeah. Depends where you go.
Yeah. So, National League North and South isn't too bad. They're about £15, which, although if you go to, I went to Dorking a few weeks ago and they charge £18 to get in. But it's still good value for money.
But this is where, Tony, that these clubs rely on fans.
Yeah. Absolutely,
Peter. The cartel them keep their club running with entry fees, merchandise, refreshments, all things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? And it's not just the fact you can stand there with a paint. People come, they bring their dogs with them.
Yes, and where I was on Friday was actually dog friendly as well.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Needham Market a few times this season, and they were in National League North, have been relegated now. Obviously, the first season in there, it's been a bit too much for them. They just haven't had the finances. But they were only charging £15 a ticket for National League North.
Really? Wow.
And yet Mason's saying there, £22 at Shields. What is that, seated or Mason, or is that standing? That's a thing.
See a lot, yeah. I'd see a lot. That's another thing, Tony. A lot of non-league games, you can sit anywhere as well. You're not getting you don't get a reserved seat.
No, absolutely. You can sit where you want, or you can stand where you want. I stand. I love the standing. I think the standing brings more to the atmosphere than it is when you're sitting down, if I'm honest.
Yeah, absolutely. The majority of non-league stadiums, you can actually get clear views of the pitch. Absolutely, you can. Well, it's like where I was on Friday, of course, Eaton standing, and there was a section where you weren't allowed to stand, but there was a section on the other side, either behind the goal, you could stand there as well on the other side of the pitch as well, and on the other side of the other goal as well. It was just the one side where the seating area was, and possibly where the building was to get to the clubhouse or the bar section at the time. You weren't allowed to stand. You could stand on the bar just outside the bar, but you weren't allowed to stand right close to the fence on that side of the pitch. So,
yeah, where the seats are, they've normally got an area that you can't stand in front of the seats, which is fine because they don't want to be blocking their view.
Yeah, Andrew says, I'd love to see you both at an Aycliffe game. Few pints you're buying. Again, it's
It's on your hit
why
list,
not?
isn't it?
Well, it's again, why not? Why not? So, even Philip says, Brighton sees beaches a canny decent area can be very nice when the sun is out and no tide. I know you did a bit of footage there as well, Tony.
I did, yes, I did, yeah. I've seen them 5 times this season and they're unbeaten.
23 quid cheap for North Sea Shields. I don't know how much it. Definitely not. Yeah, 22 quid. I mean, Paul Prello was the Gator manager in the 2001-02 season. What a name!
God.
He was. I think you heard he was. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the one I've asked you on the last game or you attended in terms of non-league. Of course, as I mentioned, the last one I was at again was, of course, Heaton standing in against Liveredge. Both teams trying to stay off within the Northern Premier League division. Heaton standing in, of course, winning 2-1. So that pushed Heaton Stannington a bit further away from the relegation zone, and Heaton Stannington also confirmed their position for the Northern Premier League for next season after beating Ashington 1-0, so they are safe for the remainder of the season. But for Liversedge, it was confirmed relegation for the team as well, and unfortunately they did get relegated from after the defeat to Heaton Stannington as well. So, but it was a good game of football to watch. I thought at times both teams were really at it. Just Liveredge were just a little bit wasteful with their chances, but Heaton Stannington took their opportunity very, very well as well. I mean, the second goal was an absolute corker, which I managed to catch very, very well as well. And I did put that all over social media, and I did get a retweet and a like off Heaton Stannington as well, which was very, very nice of them as well. Yeah. So Brighton DC will be relying on you for good luck next season, no doubt, Tony. Can see a clip for next season unless they can do the playoffs this season, says Andrew. Interested to see how they do. Mad to think they and some other non-Northern League clubs will be in the same league as Blythe Spartans next season. Yeah, Heaton Stannington will be playing in the same league as Blythe Spartans.
Gosh. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is an unbelievable that one as well, after Blythe suffering a double relegation, unfortunately, which was a bit of a shame. So, but right. So we'll go on to the next question, Tony, and the next one is: so, what is the next non-league game you are planning to attend or going to attend?
Well, Well, you think I went to a nerve-wracking one yesterday? This one's even worse because on Saturday I'm going to a game which is a 3-way title clash. Now,
oh wow!
Now this is massive on Saturday, okay? And look, I was recommended by somebody to go and visit this certain ground because I said, "Oh, have you ever been to this ground?" I said, "No, I haven't." "Oh, you need to go there because it's a really nice ground. And you love it. It's a really good ground." So I said, right, okay. I says, maybe I'll have to give it a go then. And so I checked the results yesterday to see how the team's done. And so I saw one of the teams faltered. And, so the 3 teams are on 84 points in this league.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
The team that's top has got a plus 39 goal difference. The team below them has got a plus 38 goal difference. And the team in third's got a plus 31 goal difference. So you can see there's not a lot in them teams at all. So the game that I'm going to next is Billericay Town versus Cheshunt. And Billericay are top on goal difference by that plus 1 goal difference to Horsham. Now, this is massive because obviously if Billericay win that, they'll go up the National League South. Now, I've never been to this ground and I've been told it's a really, really nice ground. So I think it's going to be a tremendous game to go to because as I say, it's a three-way title here, and you know, basically, Billericay need to make sure that their scoreline isn't bettered by, say, Horsham, who are behind them. Fair enough, you could say Dartford, 84 points plus 31. That's like an 8-goal swing. They've got to go massive. So they're probably looking at the playoffs. But then you never know. If Billericay and Horsham draw and Dartford win, Dartford go top and go up. So look, it's all to play for at the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, Cheshunt are like what? They're about 16th in that table, so that's safe from relegation. You know, yesterday Billericay beat Canvey Island, but at the weekend the games are going to be very interesting in this league, and this is the Isthmian League Premier. As I say, that would get you up to National League from there. So as I say, Billericay's got Cheshunt. Dartford's got Carshalton, who are just down from down the table from them, so about 3 places below them. So that's going to be a tough game for them anyway. But Horsham, who are second, they're at home to Hashtag United.
Oh, we know who.
So you know, everybody knows Hashtag United, and they're in 8th place. So you know, they're not going to get the playoffs. Hashtag anyway. Neither's Carshalton, but they'll still want to try and, you know, they'll still want to try and get to the to do, you know, to finish off the season on a high, if you know what I mean. So so Billericay Town versus Cheshunt.
Very interesting one. That's a really good one. Very interesting that will be in terms of who's going to win that league and get promoted to the National League South. Yep, Ian Phillips says Heaton Stanningham versus Blythe Spartans will be some games next season. Yeah, absolutely. Totally, yes. So another one, which we know you have, which on the grounds say you visit Tony, but what I would like to ask as well, I'm not sure if you have, I can't remember off the top of my head. Have you experienced any of the hospitality sections in any of the non-league games?
I did. I went to Brackley Town. Now, to me, I was a bit let down by it, and that's no disrespect to Brackley Town by any stretch of the imagination, because I don't really like to give negativity on people, because the people there were lovely, you know, the fans were great. I can't, you know, but the hospitality, the lounge that you're supposed to be in, you weren't in that lounge for some reason. I don't know if there was a function on or if it was all booked up. So, you know, I couldn't get in that lounge. So there was this like little bar bit thing, and then you went in the back. And to be honest with you, the way it looked, you know, when you go in a social club and you've got the seats and the tables, you know, like you know, like their metal seats with they've got a little cushion on the back and on the bottom. You know, the ones, I mean, that look like conference chairs, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so, or meeting room chairs, whatever. So, sat in there, and it was obviously pie, mash, and like little vegetables things, and a cheesecake, and you got a free drink as well. And that was 50 quid. And to be honest with you, look, okay, you can sit where the directors sit and all that. Because we're playing South Shields that day, so I sat the front of on the South Shields side, out in front of their directors, and yeah, I mean, look, if I'm honest, I didn't think it was worth £50, and I felt a little bit disappointed by it. So I haven't tried any more hospitality since. And to be honest with you, for me, I don't care about. I'm not really bothered about the hospitality. I'd rather, do you know what? I'd rather stand by the side and go and get a burger, hot dog, or whatever from the kiosk, or, you know, van, whatever they've got at the ground at that time, and a drink, and, you know, and stand with the fans. To me, look, they've got some hospitalities at grounds, but to me, I'd rather be standing there amongst everybody rather than being
Yeah.
out the way, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah. I can understand that as well, Tony. As well, I mean, again, because they're really passionate for football, their fans as well. But so are we not going to experience any new hospitality into the grounds, or is it just going to be? I'm just happy getting in the ground, just watch the game of football, just pay me entry fee.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, if you're in the hospitality, if I'm honest, you feel a bit disconnected from the normal fans, if you know what I mean. I would rather be with the fans if that makes sense. Yeah, okay, there might be some nice grounds that do hospitality, and that's absolutely fine. But for me, I can take it or leave it.
Yeah, I think anyone could really. I mean, it might be worth checking out anyway. At some point, like I said, I wouldn't mind checking somewhere.
Yeah,
Possibly the likes of Gated, Blythe Spartans, Shields as well. If they're the ones that do the hospitality sections, will be definitely great to visit as well. So very interesting as well. AFC panel always is everywhere. Big up. Hope you keep well. Well, Ray says all proper football fans are passionate. If you ain't passionate about your club, then you ain't no proper football fan.
yeah, absolutely.
And Ray's absolutely spot on there as well.
Yeah, all I meant was the passion that you see at the non-league side is just like totally different altogether.
It's just incredible. It is really incredible. It really, really is. I mean, I've seen that with Gator before. Their atmosphere is really, really good as well. As I said, I need to get back to watching them some time as well. Well, what happens with them next season? But just a shame.
Yeah,
they just needed that point or three just to try and secure the playoff positions. But it just sounds like it's now looking. I think they're still in the playoff positions, but it's looking really slim that they're going to stay there now. I mean,
yeah.
After that defeat against Hartlepool, I mean, I think the current manager they've got, is not the right man for the job. I mean, it's his first manager job, would you believe it, Carl Magny, but it's not going well for them. And I think a lot of the Gateshead fans have really expressed their feelings, and they've said they don't think he's the right man for the job as well. Not just in the chat, I've seen another channel, DB Sports TV, I think he's called, and he said the manager's out of his depth, completely at Gateshead as well. Well, it's not. Look at who a Gateshead have been losing to as late as well. I mean,
yeah,
Hartlepool, they're not a bad team, but Gateshead are above them.
They're like faltering at the wrong time, Gateshead, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I know Mason's mentioned quite a few times that, there's supposed to be this takeover happening at Gateshead, but
it's all gone quiet now, isn't it? I don't know what's going on there. Carl Magny is not the right man for Gateshead, I don't think either, says Philip. No. Personally, should they have let Williamson go, or should they have let Rob Elliott go, who are doing very, very well?
Well, I think Mason was saying apparently if the new owners had got in, they were going to bring Williamson back.
Interesting one, because I think Rob Elliott Williamson, I think they've jumped to. I think they've got left too early. I think it's come too soon for them, the jobs they went into next. David says, Tony, do you ever see much crowd trouble of non-league games like it was in the old days?
Every game that I've been to this season, I've not seen any trouble. The only thing I did see, I wouldn't say it was trouble. When I went to Dorking, the home fans, because you near the dugouts, they were giving the away dugout a bit of stick, and the referee stopped the game for a little bit while they got that sorted out. But it wasn't trouble. It was just more banter and which is fair enough. And then when I was at Wroxham on Friday to watch Brentwood Town,
Mhm.
I thought the goalkeeper from Wroxham may have got a little bit over the top because when Brentwood went 2-1 up, obviously they were chucking their beer in the air.
That's what. See, I don't like that at all.
And he told the referee that they chucked a pint of beer in the air. And the referee went to the bench and told their Brentwood bench, so they sent one of their coach and staff to go around and just say, look, be careful. And then obviously once it drew 2-2 with Wroxham at the end of the game, the goalkeeper then started giving the Brentford fans all of it, and I thought there's no need for that.
So it's just a little bit of banter going on, but nothing like too over the top.
Nothing. No, I've not seen no
I'd not
violence
like
whatsoever.
it's just like I would like the idea of beer being chucked up in the air and it lands on you and all of that. I mean,
the thing is, as well, do you know what else is great about non-league? As the fact is, home fans and away fans mixed. There's no...
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
There is some segregation. I went to Kings Lane. First time I went there, and that's only like literally 40 minutes from where I live. And obviously, I had put it on there when they were playing Brackley, and there was Brackley fans like, oh yeah, can we have we'll come on camera and all this. And I couldn't get near them because there was segregation. And it's like, do you really need that? It's National League North. Do you really need segregation? Needham Market didn't have segregation. And, it kind of I think it kind of spoils it a little bit. But I see if they've got to have it, they've got to have segregation. That's fair enough. But, but as I say, no, I've never witnessed anything untoward whatsoever. It's always been friendly. And that's why I say it's great, because you just see the mixture of fans, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I can imagine it is. So, yeah, Eva Lawrence says DB Sports TV goes to loads of non-league games plus games in other countries. Yeah, I've seen his channel as well, and he does a cracking job with his vlogs. He goes all up and down the country as well, and travels abroad as well. Mason says apparently Elliot's still got shares in Gateshead. Apparently, interesting. Coffee's asking what your top 3 teams that had the best ground on your visits.
Right.
I don't really buy food at football grounds. I just don't know why I don't.
Well, top 3. Oh, I tell you what, you're asking me there, because I've had some bloody good scran. Right. If I was to put them in order, I would say third place would go to... Oh, God, who would I give third place to? I'll give it to Brentwood Town, because their burgers was really, really nice. So I would say Brentwood Town would be third. Second would be Harlow Town, because Chunks Burgers, lovely. Yes, okay, it was £6 for a cheeseburger. Remember, Harlow's not far from London. But look, no, really good burgers, really nice, well presented, well put together. So for me, that would come second. But top of the list, and this is a team which is only literally 20 minutes away from where I live, and it would have to say Newmarket Town. And the reason I say Newmarket Town is because when you buy, if you get a burger there or whatever you get, it's freshly cooked to order. Because I went there and I got the bacon cheeseburger, and I think it come to $5.50 or something.
But cooked to order, that sounds like they really care.
I was standing there, and she says, "Oh, can you just stand back there?" She says, "We're just cooking it now for you." And I went, "All right, okay, then thank you." And and it was all cooked to order. So yeah, so that's the only reason that one comes out on top is because that was cooked to order and it was absolutely delicious and it was worth the money as well. So yeah, that's my top three anyway.
I was going to say probably the last non-league game I did buy food was Blue Star. I got cheeseburger and chips, and that was £6. Now I remember
Yeah.
where. Okay, I can't remember if I've still got the pick for that, to be honest. But I don't know why it just even races all them food picks you show from and you don't buy a no Ray. That's terrible.
It's strange, isn't it? Yeah.
But, I did have a nice pint when I was at Eaton Standing and on Friday. I mean, a lot of bars at the non-league grounds will probably, or any club will serve you usual, like your Carlin, your Fosters, your John Smiths, your Guinnesses, things like that. But I got a pint of Wylam Gold, and it was only £3.50. And Wylam Gold is a really nice, and it's a really nice pint, Wylam Gold.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good. £3.50 as well. I don't think you can grumble with that, considering not just a football club, but a lot of bars. How much is a charge for a pint now these days?
Oh, yeah, that's really good for a football ground, though. £3.50. I mean, Cambridge City, you go for a pint of Madry there, and they're charging you £6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went to Milton Old Town, which is my local where I play football at for walking football at Milton Old Town. And when I went there Saturday, I was actually quite shocked because I got a pint of Stella. Now, the last time I got a pint of Stella there, it was £3.90. It's now £4.20. It's gone for 30 pence.
Mm. Oh.
So, yeah it varies where you go, you know.
Yeah, well, Philip says freshly cooked to order beef burgers and non-league grounds. That's what we like. That's good that they're cook it from your order. All just read that one. Even Coffee says he wants a burger now, and we know Chippers, you do love one, obviously, particularly with the Friday show, obviously. I actually didn't coffee. I think I was thinking about it, but the queues were they were absolutely huge, and because I was on the other side of the ground, like it is the picture I'm using on the green screen. It was in that section. And I remember the rain just kept coming down and on that day, and it just hey. I've never felt so drenched in a football game that much, but yeah. But no, I didn't get food then. I was thinking about it till the queues became too massive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Burger and onions covered in red sauce, says Ray. He likes them. Bo Mason says it was £6 for a pint at Hartlepool yesterday.
Jeez. Oh, God. It's because I knew you were going there, Mason. That's why.
Right, so 2 questions there. We've got to go, Tony. We'll just read this quick comment. Chibbers Manoy loves these brown sauce, obviously.
I can't stand brown sauce. Oh,
it's okay. I can't have too much of it. It's got that really, really harshly strong taste.
Yeah.
See, I prefer ketchup myself, like so as well. So £6, I'd take my own cans. It's Hartlepool. What do you expect, says Joe. There you go. So this question interested you. I'm going to ask you, Tony, is have you purchased any merchandise at any non-league ground before? So it could be anything from kits to scarves, things like that.
Yes, I bought a Cambridge City scarf because they're black and white. And it looks exactly like a Newcastle scarf. And that was £10. So, yes, there you go. Yeah, I have done.
Interesting. I haven't yet. Oh, well, actually, I would tell a lie. I've got 2 Gated tops, actually. The 1920 season and the 21-22 season. That's the Gated ones I've got.
Tell you what, if you look at the Newcastle Blue Star top, that's bloody lovely, that is.
Oh, it's nice. They are lovely, them ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really nice.
Standing ones looks nice as well because it's black and white as well.
Yeah.
They're really nice black and white.
Probably why they're black and white because Newcastle area, and so yeah.
Well, I know Newcastle Benfield, they play in blue and white, but their kits look nice as well.
Yeah.
So good to see the London non-league clubs are following the colours of our beloved Newcastle United, obviously,
Yes.
which is good. So absolutely. Phillips always has tomato ketchup and he's bigger. We get pizzas at our league games since they are one of my team sponsors, says Coffee. Oh, interesting. Nice one. Some candy bars. Well, I'll tell you what, Andrew, I did go into one yesterday and it was a little bit of a rip-off. It was a pint of John Smith's I had and it was £4.80.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was down the harbour area, so pizza, it ain't bad. Like, I haven't had pizza for yonks, to be honest. Like, so, but that's good. So some of us have bought some non-league football merchandise, which is really good. Again, it helps them. It really helps the club as well. It really, really does. So it depends. I wouldn't mind see if I look to see if they've got any good ones. Depends which one I go to next time. Hopefully, see what they've got.
Yes.
That's robbery because John Smith is spewing a glass. Phillips says he's starting to have a soft spot for Cambridge City as they play in black and white. Not wrong with supporting another team in black and white.
Absolutely.
God, Joe, I was once asked to leave all you can eat pizza for eating too much. Oh, as well. So final question we'll ask you, Tony, and this will be an interesting one. And let's see what others come up with the chat with this question. Is do you think non-league football doesn't get the credit it deserves?
Absolutely, Pete. Look, I think non-league football goes under the radar a lot. I don't think there's a lot spoken about it.
Nope.
I mean, as I mentioned earlier, you know, I've gone there. I go there, do me vlogs. You know, nobody questions what you're doing. You know, you can interact with clubs. I've got quite a few clubs follow me. I mean, there's one from National League North, Curzon Ashton. They actually follow me on Twitter. They sent me a follow request and I accepted it.
That's good.
You know, so I've got a lot of football clubs that do follow me. Hollow Town follow me. So there's a lot of them out there that do follow me. And I just don't think it does get the credit that it deserves. And if you say to somebody about non-league football, some people go, oh yeah, but it's not a great standard of football, so what's the point? And it's like, do you know what it is at the end of the day? These people, you know, and the thing is, what a lot of people don't realise is a lot of the staff who works at these grounds, even like stewards, they don't get paid for doing it. They're doing it purely voluntary, you know, and and the thing is, a lot of it is voluntary work. And I remember years ago, like, I'm probably going back about 10, 15 years, maybe more than that, 15, 16 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
But I remember on like Tyne Tees and that and things like that, when the local news used to come on, you know, after the weekend, they used to go through, obviously, they used to go start the Premier League and then work down. And then they see, and we've got the selected local non-league teams here, and this is how they had done over the course of the weekend. And it's like, but now you don't hear that. There's nothing, you know, and it just, I think once it gets to the National League, it stops after that, you know, and it's so annoying because, look, I think you get good value for money at non-league. I mean, take for instance, which game was it where I went? I went to Stowmarket Town a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they're in the 9th tier. And I think it was £8 it cost me to get in. So I went in there. I had 2 pints. I had me match, 2 pints, a burger and a chocolate bar. Come to £22.50. Now, the thing is, £22.50 you'd be lucky to get into a League Two ground for £22.50. You know, it's just and that's before you get your food and your drink at the ground. Where here I've had 2 pints, a burger, a chocolate bar, and my entrance fee for £22.50. What's not to love? And I just don't think you get to credit. I mean, yeah, okay, some of the football is not great. We know that it's not great. But at the end of the day, what you've got to remember about, and this is why they don't get a lot of credit, and this is where, look, I'm like yourself, Pete. We're big Newcastle fans, you know. But the thing is, we don't forget non-league, because when you think a lot of non-league players have come through the system, and as I say, they don't get a lot of credit. And these players who play non-league, like say for instance, so if next Tuesday it's going to be Bury Town versus Brightlingsea. Now those players have to travel all the way from Brightlingsea in their own cars after being at work all day to then go and play a game. Then they've got to get, so the game will kick off at say 8:15, so it'll finish around about 9:30 unless it goes to penalties. But if it finishes normally around about 9:30, then these players then have to go and get changed, showered.
Yep.
Then they got to drive back. They're probably not going to get home till midnight. Then they're going to get up again for work the next morning. They haven't got the luxury of going to bed and thinking, it's all right, I don't have to get up until 8, 9 o'clock and then I can just drive the training ground and go and train for the day because they're on good money. These guys have got to go to work to earn a living. Yes, and that's where I think, and this is where a lot, you know, and as I say, a lot of people like sort of dismiss the non-leagues, and it's like, you know, don't dismiss it. And I've always said this: if say, you know, when you support your local team, what, you know, like we support Newcastle, and you know, and if they're not playing on that day, go and watch a local non-league team. You know, there's some great games to see, and it's not just the fact of going to watch them, but it's the fact you can go there, chill, have a drink, talk to people there. People always talk to you. Nobody ever. The amount of games I've been to, nobody's ever once not spoken to me. It's always been, people always come up to you and speak to you, or if you stand next to somebody and you're watching the game, they'll start talking to you about and saying, oh yeah, what do you think of the game so far? You know, and you get talking to people. Bar staff talk to you. The players come up to you. The manager comes up to you. Oh, thank you for coming. The players at the end of the game go around giving the handshake to the fans, you know, to say thank you very much for coming. You know, you don't get that in the Premier League. Like the guy said yesterday, the fan, you know, on my vlog, he says, look at the kids, smiling, happy. We're on the pitch. Everybody was on the pitch. You know, there was nothing said about people going on. People just opened the gates and went on the pitch, and nothing said. And, you know, he says, and he's right. He says, you couldn't buy this in the Premier League. You know, you can't buy this atmosphere. And I think non-league does not get the credit it really deserves. And, you know, there's a striker for Brentwood Town called Daniel Ogunleye. Now, he's top scorer in that division. He's now hit over 40 goals this season because he got 4 yesterday in the game when they beat Basildon United 4-0 to win the league. Now, he's being watched by a host of clubs, including Wycombe Wanderers. Now, Wycombe Wanderers
interesting.
are always going out looking for non-league players, believe it or not. And they got one player at Wycombe Wanderers, and his name's Richard Coney. Now, he's 21. He's an Ivory Coast player. Well, he's from the Ivory Coast. Now, they bought him from non-league Newham in London for about 25 grand. He's now worth £6 million.
Wow.
Apparently, a championship club wanted to buy him, and they were quoted £6 million for him. Now, his strengths are his high pressing and his finishing and his ball control and passing is his weakness, but he's only 21 and he's a forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're, and honestly, it's just amazing. And this is Wycombe Wanderers who are going out there looking to buy in these players, and they've got a habit of doing this, going out there and picking these players up. Now, this season for Wycombe Wanderers, he started 31 out of 40 games. He scored 18 goals for them, and he's got 3 assists as a forward. Now, we know that's League One standard. That lad is going to go up. He's only 21. But when you think how much profit you're making,
yes,
from buying somebody for 25 grand and then they're going for like 6 million. I mean, look, we've had players from non-league before. Remember when we brought Andy Hunt in all those years ago from Kettering Town?
Mm-hmm.
It is just unbelievable. But apparently Wycombe are the stalwarts for doing it. They go around all the non-leagues looking around. And if they see players that stand out, they'll go and approach them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Daniel Loganley will be hot property.
He will be, yeah.
He isn't staying at Brentwood next season. He'll not be there next season.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be gutting for Brentwood because, and I've seen this lad play, and he's a cracking little player. He's a cracking player.
But would they want to lose on 6 million? A £6 million a non-league club will be getting for a transfer fee.
Yeah, I mean, whether these clubs insert a sell-on clause, I don't know. But there's another player that he was playing for Whitton Town. I remember when I went to watch Bury Town and I'd done the match vlog there last year, about November it was. And there was a player there called Josh Asudi. He played for Whitton Town. And not long after that, he left and went to Hashtag. And he's now in the National League with Woking. Wow. And that's 3 times he's moved this season. Twice this season. Twice this season he's moved, yeah. So he moved in about November. I think it's different rules for non-league anyway. And then he moved again just last month. But he's at Woking now.
There you are. Non-league definitely does go under the radar a lot. It's an actual proper game of football with thundering tackles, and not having VAR doesn't get the credit it deserves. Yep. More non-league games should be put on the likes of BBC. The money they charge for the bloody license at least gives you something decent to watch.
Yeah. I mean, the only time you see non-league on mainstream TV is if they're playing the FA Cup and they think it's going to be a giant killer.
That's it. Mickey Gray won't be pleased that Curzon Ashton are following you, Tony, since you're a Toon fan. Non-league football is just like Sunday League footy. Loads of professionals have started a non-league Red Youth Boys Club has produced some big players back in the day, says Joel.
You got to look at Jamie Vardy. He's the shining example from non-league. He come from Fleetwood Town, who came up from the non-league. He started Halifax and all that, and he's a Premier League winner. But you can't take it away from him, and he's done the business over the years. Look, so it just shows you there is players in the non-league. You've just got to go and find them.
You do. Wolves Boys are non-league club also. There you go. Paddy Swansea wanted Coney in January, and Mason also says Gator wanted the Brentwood striker as well.
I'm off
now,
apparently
guys,
didn't want to leave.
Philip says, I'm off now, guys. Take care. Enjoy your visit to Billericay Stadium, Tony. Cheers, Philip.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Nightlife used to be excellent at Hartlepool many, many years ago. I was saying that, Peter, because Mickey Gray's nephew plays for Curzon Ashton. Oh, well.
Oh, right.
There you are, then.
They've got a Sinclair place for them as well, haven't they? Frank Sinclair's son in it.
Yes. I believe so. So, yes, it definitely doesn't get the credit it deserves. And this is why it is good to watch if it doesn't say clash with the Newcastle United game at all. And there's a game that really catches your eye. Says, I fancy going there. Really fancy going there.
Even even on a Tuesday night, if Newcastle very rarely play on a Tuesday night, but when they're not, just look at the non-league scene and just have a look what games are local and see if there's anybody playing and just go, and
like,
and you can go have a couple of pints watching the game, and
yeah,
it's great theatre. It really is. I mean, there's a documentary. I say a documentary somebody done on YouTube, and they went to I think it's Location Football. And he went to Farnham, and obviously the guy who's at Farnham, who owns Farnham, he says football's a business, and he said he had to make some changes because, and it's interesting. So if you want to watch it, go and watch it because it really is. So anyway, he says
that would be worth checking out.
So what he done was, he said, what he was noticing was that fans at half time were queuing to go to the bar, but because the bar was out, not like outside the stadium, but away from the pitch area and that. And he says, so fans were like leaving like 5-10 minutes early from this first half to go and queue up and get a drink. He says, and I thought, yeah, but these fans are missing out here. They're not watching the game because they're at the bar. So what he did was, he built a bar near the pitch side. So the fans can go and stand in the queue, but while they stand in the queue waiting for that pint, they can still see the game and watch the game at the same time.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? What a clever move that is. That is absolutely clever, that. And, this is what I'm saying. You've just got to, embrace it. But as I say, non-league crowds are going up now. They really are going up. And there was a Wolves fan put on that he's a single dad, I think, and he's a season ticket holder. He's had to give it up now because he can't afford the prices. And, it's so wrong that, people have to give up their tickets like that because they can't afford to go. But, as I say, it is such a shame. But non-league crowds are definitely growing because some people are tired of the Premier League. They're tired of ours as well. And I've heard that quite a few times around the grounds I've been to,
as well.
I mean, well, I had a laugh last week. This is how great it is when you go to non-league grounds. And so I was at Wroxham on Friday, and we thought this guy wasn't offside and scored, but I think when I reviewed the footage, he was. But at the time, I didn't think he was. And, and the guy next to me, a Brentwood fan, he turned around, he shouted, Lino. He says, we've got video evidence here, we've got VAR here. And you know what? It's just brilliant when people do that. It's fantastic. But what I'll do, look, and as I say, because I go around the different grounds, and maybe I've been to one or two grounds a few more times as well, but people start to recognise you, know you. So when you go to the ground, they're like, oh, here he is. And, people are so happy to see you. And it's just lovely, it's like a real community feel atmosphere. I mean, Hollow's just over an hour from me, so that wasn't too bad, But yeah, I mean, look, I was at Mildenhall last week, and as I say, on Saturday, which 10 minutes down the road, and I saw the linesman, and I thought, I seen him at Newmarket, and I says, so I said to him, I says, how are you doing? I says, do you remember you were speaking to me at Newmarket Town? He went, yes, I do. He said, I remember talking to you, and then he was having a bit of a chat with us. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
It's just, it's, that's what I'm saying. It's just brilliant, The only time I have actually had a conversation once with a Premier League referee, and I remember that because I was at the game when I had my season ticket, and it was Mark Halsey. It was when he'd just come back from his throat cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I was in the Sir John Hall stand, or Lisa stand as it is, as he came around, all the Newcastle fans, it was great because we were all clapping him. And there was a few came down and we all said, oh, welcome back, Mark. Great to see you again. And he actually came over and spoke to her. And you know, and the last words he said before he ran off, he went, by the way, please don't give me any stick if I book somebody. But you know what? But he was nice to do that, to come over and actually, and he said, you know what? He says, and this is what else he actually said as well, which was pretty nice of him as well. He said, you know what? He says, I'm glad this is my first game back here. He says, because you fans are the best. He says, you fans have actually, he says, you've actually reducing me to tears now. He says, I'm filling up here. He says, by how nice and kind you're being.
That's great.
And we said, no, we were just saying, no, we're just so happy that you've got through it and you're clear and everything, and you know.
Definitely.
And he says, I'll never ever forget this.
Absolutely. So definitely. So because I was going to say as well, because I would like to get back to some more non-league games. I'm going to try and check out with Cannyfield next season. I mean, I just ticked Heaton Stanningen off as a new ground on Friday, so I'm going to see what's possibly going to be for next season as well, possibly before the normal Premier League season kicks off. As well, because there's definitely a few I've got my eye on that I've not been to, and I would definitely like to recommend and go and check them out as well. So,
yeah,
absolutely. When you get to non-league footy grounds, you are probably better off just taking your own scrap. Nobody likes food poisoning. And Lauren says that reminds me of Neil Warnock when he was shouting at Lino, you've got to see that.
Yeah, exactly. It's brilliant. It's just great, you know. It's I mean, you know, as I say, going back to the Wroxham game on Friday, the linesman, I mean, God, he was atrocious. He was absolutely awful. But, well, on this side he was, because even infuriated the Brentwood bench, and, you know, he was trying to give a goal kick when the referee was giving a corner because it was a clear corner. And yeah, he was pointing his flag for a goal kick. And it's like, where the hell where's this linesman come from? You know, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, Mason's had a bit of a thing because there's no such team as what he's just put in there. So, yeah.
Rushcliffe United.
Well, actually, it's not called that. They're called Rushcliffe FC, apparently. I think that there you are. But anyways, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll get. I would like to do another one of these shows as soon as possible, and I'll like to see who I can get as the next guest to come on and discuss about their non-league experience as well, which would be really, really great.
Yeah, it's been a great show. Thank you for having me on, Pete.
That's no problem at all, Tony. It was absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much to everyone. Of course, good to see Tony come on for tonight. Those of you in the chat who have tuned in tonight, thank you. Mods, always really appreciate it. As always. Yes, well, you never know, Mason. You just never know. Well, it could we'll wait and see. Just wait and find out who the next guest is going to be, is all I can say. But again, really, thank you so much. Thank you for the stream, PD and Tony. Cheers, coffee. Really, really appreciate that as well. Great show, guys. Cheers so much, Ian. Take care, all of you as well, Ian. Remember, guys, if you have enjoyed the show, please remember to give us the thumbs up. It's really important we get the likes so people know where to find us in the search results. So do hit the likes if you have enjoyed the show tonight. Please, of course, if you are brand new to the channel, if you're not yet subscribed and enjoy what goes on the channel week in, week out, please smash that subscribe button. Free to do so. It does help make the channel grow. And please hit the bell notification. It does let you know whenever a live show is taking place or a pre-recorded video gets uploaded as well. So please make sure you do hit the bell to make sure all up to date with the content that you do not want to miss at all. If you'd like to give a donation, feel free. If you want to become a member, it's 99p a month. Hit the join button. And again, thank you, Yaba, for the gifting out the memberships tonight. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, lads. Thanks, Pete and Tony. Canny banter. Andrew says the future's bright.
Absolutely, the future's black and white, isn't it?
That's absolutely. Take everyone at the likes on the way out and pop over to Tony's channel and hit the likes to the footy channel ground. The footy channel ground up. Cheers, Joe. Really Appreciate that. So again, in terms of content, what we got coming up, we will be back on Thursday, and that is for the preview for Ipswich Town at home. So we'll see you all back then for Thursday. Friday, you know what happens on a Friday. I don't need to say out. Saturday, we'll be at the game against Ipswich. And of course, Sunday will be the match review and the player rating show from the game against Ipswich Town. So that's what we got coming up throughout the remainder of the week. Tony, what we got coming up? I presume it's going to be another match vlog from another Lundy game.
It will be. It'll be from Billericay, so that's going to be interesting. So I'm looking forward to go to that ground because it's, I say they're about 75 miles from where I live, so it's not too bad. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one, and you know, it's going to be an interesting one because it's going to be nervous. The fans are going to be nervy because even if Billericay are win, they're going to be wanting to look at the results, what's happening in the other games, you know. So yeah, so that's going to be another nervy game on Saturday. But again, you know, be nice if I'm there and it happens to be that they win that game and they get promoted. That'd be massive. But considering it's a 3-way tussle on the final day of the season, I mean, geez, honestly, this is why we love football. This is why we love it, because we love it for the drama. Mm-hmm. You know, last day drama, like yesterday was last day drama. Like Hackney Wick put out a tweet the night before the game and said, playing mind games to say, oh, by the way, St Margaret's-Bury like to compete against the top teams, just to try and get into the heads of Harlow Town to say, look, you know, and look, it's banter, but you know, and as I say, Hackney Wick, I feel sorry for them in some ways because, you know, they've pushed Harlow as well, and you know they've both been on 92 points, but Harlow obviously had the better goal difference. And the thing is, May the 5th, they play each other again for the third time this season, and this time it's in the cup final. So,
oh wow, interesting!
And it's one apiece on head-to-head this season. So, and that's at a neutral ground in a ground called Aveley FC, which they've just been relegated from National League in South. So, because they were going to send them originally to this town. Now, if anybody's not sure about the geography, basically from where they are in Essex, like Harlow and Hackney Wick, they play at Whittam Town's ground. Those players and fans would have had to travel about 2 hours just to get to a ground to go and play a cup final. And because of not only fan power, but also the power of the clubs, the actual league backed down and said, oh, well, we'll play Aveley FC instead. And so at least it's in Essex, because what's the point in sending 2 Essex teams all the way to Norfolk? It's ridiculous. And as I said earlier on, these guys go to work, you know, and they don't want to be travelling back and forward for 2 hours each way and then having to get up and go to work, especially if it's a cup game as well, a cup final, because they'll be celebrating as well. You know, these don't have the luxury of having a coach and, you know, getting on a coach and a lovely coach and watching Sky Sports, you know, and things like that. They haven't got that luxury. They've just got to drive there in their own vehicles, you know. So look, absolutely brilliant it is. But so I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be a really good game.
Oh, I presume
it's going to be a tight game, but it should be a cracking game, though.
Definitely. So please do hop over to Tony's channel, the Footy channel, Groundhopper. Tony, as well, you've just hit 1,400k subscribers as well. Massive well done you on there as well. Really well done. So again, I'm sure Tony would appreciate the subscribers there coming in, and I'm sure they'll be back with plenty more non-league match day vlogs for you to enjoy as well. But anyway, guys,
a lot more next season.
Oh, you are. Anyway, guys, that's again it for tonight, and we'll see you all back on Thursday. Till then, everyone, take care all. See you all later, everyone. Good night.
Are we the last part?